Hey guys, Ryan here, and time to bring you a replay in the GSOR on Mountain Pass. Now the GSOR is also a tier 9 British light tank. This is going to be my second video on the channel in this tank, but the first video featuring me. The first GSOR replay was sent in from a subscriber called Jimmy Woe. And in that video I actually remember saying that I'm looking forward to getting the British light, so here we are. I'm ready to put Spandex and Athena both in their CS59, the Polish tier 9 medium. As I said, it's going to be a standard battle, it's going to be a tier 10 match. Now, this isn't going to be the greatest result, but I feel like it's a good game to showcase the good and bad points of the GSOR and what makes it an interesting tank. And by interesting, I mean a lot of people hate it. So, all the British lights are quite interesting. I've had videos on the other ones below this, tier 8 and 7. They all have terrible DPM and they all don't turn very good, and the GSOR is no exception. Doesn't turn very good, and terrible DPM. Now, something else to mention in this replay. I can't remember how stock I am. I might have just gotten the engine upgrade, I can't remember. But I've definitely got the stock gun. But the thing about British light tanks is, and I'll go over the good point. So I've said the shit point, which is DPM and maneuverability, how, like, you know, how quick they turn left and right. The good point of British lights are the guns. Now, somebody's probably thinking, you just said the DPM is terrible, and the DPM is terrible, but the guns on the British light so far for the tier 7, the 8, and the tier 9, both stock and fully upgraded, they kind of feel more like medium guns in the sense of gun handling and penetration. Because when I play other lights, I find myself bouncing a lot of shots that I don't feel like I should have bounced, or I'm just wishing I had more pen. And the British light, I've never had that problem. I always feel like I've got enough penetration, and the shells just feel like they pen more. Like, for example, I'm in a tier 9 light tank with a stock gun, and I've got 226mm of PAM, which is actually pretty decent. Like, there's not many light tanks that can do what you're going to see later. So, I'll save that little bit of information, but it's going to happen later, and you're just going to think, like, when it was happening, I was amazed with myself that I managed to fucking do it. Because the other thing is, as well, in this game, I had no premium time. Thankfully, Spandex to the rescue right after this game actually gifted me 30 days of premium, which is very kind of them. But I'm trying not to fire any premium round because I don't have a premium account. And there's a lot of fucking Russian heavy tanks on the enemy team. There's a 277, an IS-7, a 279E, IS-3s. But, as I said before, the standard pen, even the stock gun, 226, is pretty decent. And I feel like if you're a good player, you can make use of the lack of DPM, and like you can do without it. All it requires is being in the right position and making your shots count. If you know how to use bus mechanics for concealment, that works too. And the damage doesn't add up quickly, but it adds up steadily. Nice shot into a tier 10 Soviet heavy. Bear in mind, 277 isn't the most well armoured of Soviet heavies. But it's just, you gotta try and stay alive, and that's where people struggle, because the maneuverability of the tank can get them killed. But if you know your maneuverability shite, you can work around that, maneuver around the map. You can actually get some decent results in the British lights. Now again, this map isn't the most ideal, I don't have the most room to run around and use concealment. Right now, I'm taking some risky shots, come out, and I actually managed to pen an IS-7 in the lower plate with standard rounds. Now, I'm not going to pen that 100% of the time, but I was amazed I penned it all. And there are not many, well, I don't know about any of the other tier 9 lights because I've not played many of them. I don't know if any of the other tier 9 lights can pen an IS-7 lower plate with standard rounds. But it's a really nice thing to be able to do. And that's what I mean, I just quite like the British light. Then again, as you all know, if people hate a tank, I tend to quite like it. It's just how it goes. I like playing the underdog tanks. I like doing well in tanks people think are shite. It just feels good. The other issue with British lights, now bear in mind I don't mind the lack of DPM, they don't carry much ammo, and I wish they got an ammo increase. I mean, they already have shite DPM, so, like, I'm not going to run out of fucking, I'm not going to be OP to give me more ammo to carry. Plus, that's, even though the British lights have really good standard pen, as a pen of 279E there, I'm also about to fuck off from there, because it's fucking IS-7, 279E, not IS-7, 279E and some other guy, I don't want to deal with them. But a lot of people who play British lights play with full premium loadouts, which again is fine, people can do what they want, I don't care, but there are some people who normally don't play with full premium loadouts who do because, like, they don't want to be forced to fire AP at, you know, a 279E or something. So because they don't carry much ammo, they bring full APCR, even though the standard pen is pretty decent on these things. So if it carried more ammo, people might be a bit more willing to fire some more AP around. It'd be a much cheaper tank to play. Now I'm waiting in ambush because I know there's an enemy around this corner who killed a teammate, so I was waiting to see if he'd come around this way. He's not yet, so I'm going to push forwards. And we have the 277. I got one shot in his ass, now I'm backing up. And you've seen the gun performance earlier, I was able to pen an IS-7 lower plate. So that's quite good. You've seen the lack of DPMs I've been firing. Now you're going to see the lack of maneuverability on my tank. So 277's going to come around. I unfortunately don't pen that shot, which is not good for me. And I'm going to try and go around this rock. And you're going to see, I almost fucked up. I have to slow down. I still drive up the rock, almost flip myself. And then the 277 makes a mistake and peeks out. But I almost got shit on there because of the lack of maneuverability. And I could have died there because I've got 477 hit points. He's got 490 alpha. Bear in mind there's 4 RNG changes though, so he probably would have low rolled. But still, you get what I mean about the maneuverability isn't very good, especially when you're trying to even heavy tanks outmaneuver them like round the rock or around the building or something. Now I'm going to load my first APCR rounds of the game because 279A. If there's any tank to fire at, it would be that. And I'm going to start driving over there. Now, the other thing about British Lights is they have really good camo as well, actually. And in fact, a couple of the British Light tanks, I think the GSOR and maybe the Tier 8, actually weigh less than the Vanguard does. So, you know, bear that in mind. So again, use the camo to try and keep your distance, not get spotted while you're firing your shots, and hopefully like, rack up damage over time. 10 degrees of gun depression as well is always nice. Now, wasted APCR shells here because I'm shooting at the back of a 279A. But, yeah, the GSOR, a tank I really, really like. Just, I'm not saying it's a great tank, it really isn't, but I feel like it just, even when you do 3k damage, you feel like you've had a good game. And I do manage to set the 278 on fire and get the kill. So I do get MVP. Just over 3,000 damage, I think I got about 1,000 assistance, 2 kills. Not the greatest game, but you saw the DPM, you saw the nice penetration, and you saw the shitty maneuverability of this tank this game. And that just goes to show the general gist of what the GSOR is all about. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.